Hey y'all, it's Lindsay with the Fiber Seed, and it is WIP Wednesday where I share what I'm working on, which are a couple of things. If you see the mic, if you're watching me on IG, this has nothing to do with you. If you're watching me on YouTube, let me know if you're watching in the comments on your computer or not, and whether or not the audio is good for you, because I got a mic on if you can't see it. That's not a part of my shirt. I know, it's a great accessory though, right? Anyway, if the mic does work and we want to keep it, I might get a different one that's, less conspicuous, because I don't wear sports coats, so this lapel mic is kind of huge now that I'm not holding it in my hand. Anyway, because I talk with my hands, if you haven't noticed, and I can't do that when I'm showing yarn and holding a mic. So on that note, let's talk about yarn. So this week's Tonal Tuesday was sunflower, it goes till Thursday if you didn't know. And we have it available on sock, DK, and worsted in full hanks and in minis. I just touched the mic. All right, anyway, sorry if that made a noise. If it didn't, nah. But this is what it looks like. So I wore a yellow shirt, not on purpose, but it works out. So earthy yellow, not neon, because we do have highlighter, and that is, I'll show you something later with highlighter. Actually, it's right there. Boom, all the yellows. That's highlighter. This is not. So you can see it's a nice, bright, sunny yellow. And you can find that on all the weights. And it's a good segue to Penelope asked me to share her WIP this week. So she saw a goldfinch on our walk and she decided to draw it. If you don't know who Penelope is, she's my 8-year-old. And so she's been practicing her drawing. I think she was really excited about how the feet worked out. So, put in the comments, yay, Penelope, if you want to give her some encouragement on her practicing of drawing. So she'd appreciate that. Anyway, those are 10% off the Tonal Tuesday. Sunflower's 10% off until the end of day Thursday. So there you go. What else sneak of is happening Thursday is Throwback Thursday. So basically when we're not doing shows and stuff like that on Thursdays, we bring a color back to the shop that we have and you've seen at the shows and you're going, where can I get this? And then you can't find it on our website. Well, the website's been our, what do they call it? Anyway, it's been a fun thing. No, we really like the website and we really work hard on it, but it's been a labor of love. There it is. I love yarn and we need to get it on there. It's labor. Anyway, it's worth it. But this week's Throwback Thursday is Neon Lights Kaleidoscope. So if you have neon lights and you're like, that's not like mine. Neon lights, I made it in a bunch of different dye styles. So it's in speckled, kaleidoscope, and then half speckled, which you've seen with the Prana 2 shawl. That was done in the half speckled. Why do I have 3? Because I like color combos and I have different ways that I dye yarn. But I did this one, I came up with this back in, I think, 2019. I did it around my grandpa's birthday. He had a sign company long before I was born. But when neon signs came, like he used to paint signs, like billboards used to be painted and he used to do stuff like that. So anyway, when neon signs came along, he was on the forefront of it. And so I grew up with all these, swatches basically of different plex, different, colors, Pantone, the whole everything. I used to play with those as a kid and he loved color. And like my grandmother let him put like a hot pink strip of color around their bathroom tile just so it wasn't black and white. But anyway, I did this and kind of like as a memory colorway. So I was missing him and he'd been gone for, at that point, 15 years. I was missing him. I was in a new place and I, kind of like doing this, it felt like a family thing, like dyeing yarn and everything like that, the colors and everything, it just flowed right. And so I started my business in his garage, in the house. Actually, it started out in the dining room, but then moved to the garage. And so anyway, I made this colorway. And so we've been donating to Cure Alzheimer's Fund for this because that's what he ended up with at the end. So anyway, that is the colorway. Now you're like, what does it look like? Like this in a cake. But I do have swatches. And since we're adding it to the website, I have been taking these existing colorways and getting my cake that's sitting back here and making the Tunisian crochet swatch. So you can see that one as well. So I've been updating the swatches as I've been doing this. So there's the Tunisian crochet swatch. Regular crochet, so double, half double, and single. So it does change as you go. And then here is the knitted one. So I really like how they change up as the, you know, what you use to make them with changes. So anyway, that's going to be in the shop tomorrow. So you'll be able to see that because it's WIP Wednesday on Wednesday. Anyway, what else though? Friday, our summer colorway drops. How could I not? Like, I love summer. I mean, I used to live in Florida. That was like, oop, I smacked the mic again. Sorry, guys. I should probably just ignore that. But I didn't. Anyway, summer color. So I pointed out highlighter. Well, anyway, this is not that you can see it's very bright, but it's still bright. So this is Paintball Blast. So it just embodies everything summer. Going to get ice cream from, you know, we have a bunch of different ice cream shops in town. So getting ice cream, Paintball Blast was like the kids' favorite colors, not colors, flavors. Here we go. But it also kind of reminds me of fireflies, which we have a bunch in the summer, and just bright summer colors. So we have it on sock, DK, and worsted. Here's the cake. It's a besprinkle. So you have little washes of color and speckles. You can see them all. And this is how it looks in a knitted swatch. This is my WIPs. I just finished these. So there's the knitted swatch. And it's got speckles of aqua, bright pink, oranges, some brighter bits of yellow, and I mean, you get that green feel from the aqua. So there's the crocheted. So it doesn't really change up much with the height, stitch height. So there's doubles, half, and single crochets. And then here's the Tunisian crochet swatch. So it's that bright yellow, but it's a lighter tone of it, if that makes sense. So that is going to be in the shop on sock, DK, and worsted on Friday. And I'm super excited about that. That'd be a fun top or something. Just saying. Makes you excited. And then all the yarns. I made stitches, but look how far I am on Jordan's Dapper hat. So Dapper has gray and like a true blue, like deeper true blue, and more gray, black in it. It's one of our watercolors. I did this on DK. And so basically my model was a hat I had made for him in Houday, which is limited. I hit my mic again. Oh my goodness, this is the third time. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I made in this, and I made it a little bit smaller, so it was a little bit snugger. But he wanted it just a wee bit longer so that when he folds it up, it covers his ears with a double fold. Yeah, double fold. So I basically made the new one as long as this hat, because it was almost there, just not quite. And now I'm going to do the decreases, which I'm going to have to wing it because I don't remember what I did on the other one. I can look at it and figure it out, and then just make an adjustment for the stitch count on here. I think I did it in the same multiple, so that'd be easier just to drop off a decrease, pretty sure. We'll see. But yeah, so that's how far that is. I know I'm working on a hat in the, you know, warm time of the summer. I should be working on my Captiva crop, which will be the next thing I pick back up, because we want to have that thing done to be able to wear to the August shows. There, I just put a timeline on myself. How about that? Anyway, so those are the things I've been working on, and I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a lot of yarn to dye in the next couple of weeks because we're getting ready for the fall shows, and y'all, the half speckles are coming back strong because that list it's very big. Very big. Anyway, yeah, until next time though, happy crafting.